Good morning. You are listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. It is Thursday, November 23rd, and we are all wishing you a happy Thanksgiving. Today, I am joined with Cam Martin, Rosh Vinakota, Stella Daly, and Monique Jaba, where we will be discussing how to make the perfect turkey, Black Friday statistics, Black Friday store hours, and more. But before we get into it all, we have a news story with Cam. So can you tell us what's going on regarding Thanksgiving?
So here's some information that you guys might want to be aware of. If you're like me and you leave for Thanksgiving, you live a little ways away. So making Thanksgiving dinner is a stressful activity, but I'm just saying getting there is even worse. This week, about 55.4 million people are expected to travel 50 miles or more from their homes for Thanksgiving, which is a tiny rise from last year's travels. According to NREX, a supplier of transportation data and analytics, the worst time to be on the road will be between 2 and 6 p.m. yesterday, Wednesday, November 22nd, when traffic is expected to peak. Not only will these traffic jams slow you down, they can easily result in crashes caused by distracted drivers, says Megan Jones, a senior actuary at Artery, another company that analyzes mobility data. She did note that there are a quick uptick in speeding around the holiday, with Sunday after Thanksgiving seeing the highest number of high-speed drivers over 80 miles per hour. According to Jones, drivers should be aware of their surroundings and deliberate from their own actions.
Exactly. When it comes to Thanksgiving, especially, this holiday season, as it's beginning, people are going to be traveling, whether it's into the Garden State, outside of the Garden State, and it's definitely important to stay safe during your travels, especially because we had some weather updates. There was some rain, and just obviously there's going to be traffic. It's going to be chaotic. Are any of you guys traveling outside of New Jersey for Thanksgiving?
I basically am, because I live in South Jersey, so that's that.
So you're traveling outside of the Montclair area.
Yeah. So I know, if I remember from last year correctly, the way how the Parkway it was egregious to get off, and the Turnpike was even worse. So the fact that, I got to take this after I get out of here, I got to take that drive down. Not looking forward to it, but at least it wasn't as bad as yesterday.
Yesterday, that's really when the traffic began on Wednesday. To move on from our Thanksgiving festivities, tomorrow is one of the busiest shopping days of the year.
The busiest shopping
drum
of the year.
roll, please. What day is it? Black Friday.
This is the busiest day of the year. The busiest day of the year. There's no one of it. It is the
one and only busiest day of the year, especially for those shoppers and for the retail stores, because it is Black Friday. So we're going to dive into some history on Black Friday. So the term Black Friday was applied due to the financial crisis of the crash of the U.S. gold market in 1869. On that Friday in September, conspiracy finally unraveled, sending the stock market into free fall and bankrupting everyone from Wall Street barons to farmers. Retailers are linked behind the Thanksgiving shopping-related Black Friday tradition. The story goes on that stores would supposedly earn a profit on the day after Thanksgiving because holiday shoppers blew so much money on discounts and merchandise. Looking even before the COVID-19 pandemic, Black Friday's identity was changing from a mainly in-store experience to an online shopping experience. Back in 2019, Black Friday topped Cyber Monday as the busiest day for online shopping, according to the National Retail Federation. After Black Friday in 2021, experts started monitoring the impact of early deals. This stemmed from Amazon's first ever second Prime Day in October, which kicked off the holiday shopping season. Last year, inflation was the biggest problem surrounding Black Friday and Cyber Monday, where experts were unsure if shoppers' economic concerns would outweigh their enthusiasm for sales. Some predictions from experts this Black Friday in 2023 are that this November and December, it is expected that sales will rise between 3% and 4% compared compared to 2022. This is a slower rate compared to previous years, but it's consistent with the average annual increase in holiday spending of 3.6% from 2010 to 2019. Additionally, shopping through social media platforms such as Instagram and TikTok are also becoming more popular as technology advances. So Black Friday over the years has really changed. Obviously, when it first began, that in-store experience was so popular. Lines were out the door. It was like 3 a.m. People would be ready to get their deals, getting ready to buy presents for the holiday season, and just getting ready to get like all their discounts on a bunch of different merchandise. And I definitely think not only through obviously the pandemic is a big reason on why Black Friday is obviously it's still very popular, but it's not as chaotic, I think, as it was in the years before. Like COVID-19 definitely changed it because people were afraid to go to stores. They were like, oh no, I'm going to get sick if I go to the store and go shopping. So a lot of people ended up staying home. And that's why online shopping has become so popular, especially during the pandemic, because people still wanted to get their discounts, but not in the store. And then it goes into like inflation. So many things, so many prices have changed over the years, especially, where our economy is now. And I think that, people are still happy about Black Friday, but some are just, a lot of us, I think, are just the ones that kind of just want to stay home and just not even go out because it gets chaotic, but it's not as chaotic as before, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree because Black Friday, literally without Thanksgiving, Black Friday is literally its own little holiday going on. And I remember as a kid on the news, everybody rushing and traveling over each other, fighting over things in stores for Black Friday deals. And like you said, COVID really kind of just dimmed that social and crazy need to go in store. And I've seen a lot on TikTok. A lot of people are talking about it, how there's not going to be major stories about that. But I also feel like at the same time, it is a good thing that it kind of gone down a little bit, considering that there have been accidents that have happened during Black Friday, people getting hurt, people losing their lives, all of those things happen on Black Friday. And now people are just, you can do it online. So people are safe. They can stay home, and be comfortable and hopefully get the stuff that they need in time for the next holiday, which is Christmas. Yeah.
You're definitely right, because I've heard so many stories of the amount of physical fights that happen on Black Friday in the past where people will be fighting over an item I want it, or there's not enough stuff in the store, and just dozens of lines and people shoving each other. It's definitely safer, not just to stay at home, but just to be safe when it comes to shopping on Black Friday, because people go insane. Some stores used to open at 3 a.m. Stores are not now opening until 5 a.m. The earliest I've seen, possibly 6 a.m. And we're going to dive more into specific store hours later on today in the show, but that's definitely changed. Another thing I wanted to bring up was shopping through social media, through Instagram and TikTok, because I'll be scrolling and you'll just see a bunch of advertisements and a bunch of things where you could have links of to go to, because a lot of influencers like to promote things promote brands, and it's so popular. You'll be scrolling and you're like, oh, one of my favorite influencers has a cool headphone, and then you're gonna buy it, so that's another way of promotion when it comes to that. And also literally my friend, I was at her house the other day, she had this new bag, and I was like, oh, where'd you get it from? And she goes, TikTok. I was like, that's a thing? I didn't even know that.
Yes, my entire For You page recently has been TikTok shop, available for purchase on the TikTok shop. I'm like, okay, where did that come from? I'm still a little skeptical. I'm I don't know if I want to, because I feel once I order one thing from TikTok shop, I feel I might start ordering more. But I can feel on Black Friday, the algorithm does what the algorithm does, and I feel it's going to show just so many more videos tomorrow about shopping and trying to promote it. So I'll be definitely curious when I'm scrolling TikTok to see if I notice that, knowing it's a big consumer day for products.
I think no, 'cause here's what I saw. So throughout this entire week, I just kept seeing ads anytime I was scrolling TikTok, and just about the TikTok shop, talking about the sales uncut. So I think it's how it's just it knew TikTok just knew Black Friday's coming along. People probably want to get deals now, so that's why they probably pushed it out earlier. So by the time you order it, it can get here sooner.
You're right. They do like early like Prime Day and like early Black Friday deals throughout the entire week of Thanksgiving, just because Black Friday is just like complete chaos when it comes to that and websites and just in-person stores. So people definitely have hopped on that trend of like getting stuff like before, and then even like the entire weekend I feel like of Black Friday is super popular and super chaotic, and then it also leads to Cyber Monday, which is like the Monday of the following week.
And this is the part that we remember that we are college students and broke college students, may I add. And
college discounts.
College discounts. I forgot that that's a thing, to be honest.
Mine is 5.
College discounts plus the Black Friday discounts. What more? It's great for us.
Less money.
Hurting our bank accounts.
Yes, literally.
Don't get into fiscal fights and be safe out there.
Exactly. Be safe. And we're going to continue on talking about Black Friday, leading into more of these statistics. So, Mo, can you tell us some history on some statistics and some statistics on what's happening this year on Black Friday?
Of course. So these are the Black Friday statistics you need to know. In September 2023, 71% of survey respondents said that they would shop online on Black Friday and Cyber Monday 2023. The 2023 Black Friday's deepest discounts for televisions are expected to reach 22%, breaking previous records. On Black Friday 2022, conversion rates were 13 percentage points higher than on Black Friday 2021. In 2022, 81% of possible U.S. Black Friday and Cyber Monday shoppers said that getting the best price or value was their priority. In 2023, 74% of U.S. consumers indicated that they cared about the environmental impact of the products they buy.
That's definitely really interesting, because if we're going to look more towards like the environment here, especially with climate change, that's, literally like we had like 80-degree weather this past fall, and then right after it would just be like 60 degrees and it goes to 40 degrees, and it's like, whoa, like what is happening with the weather? But it's definitely something to keep in mind when it comes to like buying things.
So true. I actually never really thought about that, reading that last one about how it's going to impact the environment, because like it's just like all the things that we buy, people buy things that they want but not necessarily need. And those things can affect our environment. And with global warming and, and all the stuff happening on beaches and stuff, it's just like, now I'm going to have to think about when I'm buying things, how is this going to affect when I'm done with it, affect the environment when I'm done with it, or where it goes,
Especially, remember that whole thing with like, the common disco girls, like saving the turtles, like that's, we're going to bring that up because that's something so popular when it comes to the environment, because of like, plastic straws became paper straws now. So it's definitely like really interesting to see like how in the future we're going to continue with like eco-friendly items getting sold.
Also, even stores itself no longer has plastic bags, and that people are expected to bring their own bag. And now they have, I don't know what the material is. It's not plastic, but it's more like durable, and they're really nice. So you can see stores now just like getting rid of that plastic, because scientists have talked about how all of these are infecting our environment. This is the planet we live on. It's the only planet we have, and we should take care of it.
You're so right. It's without Earth,
it's a lot of stores in America where they ban plastic bags. And like not only America, like a lot of countries around the world have also started implementing this. Like they started introducing paper bags, bring your own bag kind of thing, or they say, okay, I'll give you one bag and that's it, and you have to recycle it, or policies like that. And I feel like people being more environmentally conscious of the products that they buy is definitely a 2023 thing, but it's important because climate change is a thing. And we definitely have to, it's definitely interesting. It will be interesting to see how in the future that people will become more environmentally conscious and how maybe this will help the globe in some way or the other.
You're definitely right. Especially when it comes to like the bag thing, you know, like some stores will limit you to only one bag. Some stores, you will like have to buy a bag. You ever hear like you go to the store and you're like, oh, hi, and they're like, do you want to purchase a bag for 5 cents? And I'm like, sure. And like sometimes like I literally will bring in my own bags just so I don't have to purchase a bag, because that's another thing where like inflation comes into play as well.
As you said something about the 2023 thing, like taking care of the planet, and I'm really glad that you said that, because it made me think that in a world that we live in with like high social media, there's always these new trends going on, and Save the Turtles and stuff like that. It disappeared out of nowhere. I stopped hearing it after a certain period of time. Yeah. And I don't want to, it kind of seemed like a trend in a way because it only benefited a certain period of time. But now it's just like, yeah, I'm glad that everybody's getting into talking about climate change, environmental change, being conscious of what's happening. But we need to not make it a 2023 thing. And if you're interested, we should make it a forever thing,
Ooh, that's so true. But we want to thank you all for tuning in to the Morning Buzz here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And we hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving and a safe Black Friday. And you can tune in tomorrow as we will kick off the official start to the holiday season. And we hope, again, you all have a great Thanksgiving here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.